Hey guys, my name is Ugochi Vivian Oka, and I am starting a new segment on my YouTube called Rate My Dates because I am so tired. I feel like we need an app just like Uber where you go out on a date and you rate the dates. So you say what was good about it, what was not so good about it, what could be improved because I think that some people really don't have a clue. They ask people out, you come out and uh-uh, it's not it at all. I've been on some nice experiences and some not so good and some shockingly bad. And so I'll start putting up video just rating my dates, giving a short summary of how the date went. And I know that some people don't care to learn. So if you're one of those people, this video is not for you. But if you care to learn, because I feel like some people really don't know what it is they're doing wrong. And if you don't know and nobody corrects you, then you keep doing the same thing and you'll be wondering why you're not getting a second date. So this video is for people like that. Now I'm not saying that I'm a dating expert, but I go out on dates once in a while. So at least I see things that happen and I'm gonna be talking or sharing from my experiences what you should do and what you should not do. Okay, so I'll start with the most recent date I went on. So usually when somebody asks me out, I give options. I'm like, yeah, I can meet up for coffee or for a meal. And I let you decide because I don't know what your pocket is like. I don't know what your plans are like. And I just, I don't really care where we meet as long as we meet in public and it's not so far from me because I don't want to be spending, I'm using Uber. I don't have a car, so I don't want to be spending Uber money going on useless dates. So a lot of times, like if it's coffee, especially if it's coffee, it has to be walking distance from my house. If it's a meal, I'm willing to go out just a little bit more, but nothing more than 12 minutes drive. That's how I do my own thing. Yeah. So anyway, so a guy had asked me out on a date. I met him on one of the dating apps, and he asked me, and I said, yeah, sure. I'm happy to meet for coffee or meal. And he said, let's meet. Let's go for dinner. I said, okay. I live in this area, and so he picked a restaurant. I got there. He was there. Got there on time. Yay! I didn't do African time. So he was there, and then we got in. We had a meal. It was a nice Thai restaurant actually. The food was okay. It was good actually, and we talked a bit, and he offered to give me a ride back home. So which I thought was nice, but obviously I cannot take somebody or I cannot let someone that I don't know take me to my house. So if I want to take a ride back home for whatever reason, then I'll let them drop me off a shopping mall near my house or a grocery store near my house. So at least they don't know where I live. So that's what I usually do. So now, what was good about this date, and what was not good about this date? Okay, so the good things about this date. One, he picked a meal, which I appreciate because sometimes when people pick coffee, I don't really like coffee, but I just let them do their thing because I understand that you can't be buying meals or you can't be going out for meals with everybody that you're trying to go out on a date with. So and sometimes coffee dates have has its own advantages. So but I like that he picked a meal and a nice restaurant and he gave me some options and he let me pick. So that was one good thing. Two, he got there on time. So I got there right at the exact time, but he was there like 5 minutes or so before me. So I like that. Three, he paid, which is almost like a surprise these days for me because I've been on some chewing gum dates, and I mean that literally. And people don't even want to pay for coffee or anything, so he paid. So I thought that was nice. And then he offered to give me a ride. He was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were using an Uber. If I knew, I would have offered to even pick you up." So I thought that was nice as well. So yeah, those were some nice things about the dates. Now, what wasn't nice about this date? Okay, so when I came down from the Uber, he was waiting in his car, so he got out of his car, and then we're entering the restaurant. He walked ahead of me. He opened the door and just held the door like this without looking back and opened. So a lot of times restaurants have two doors: the exterior and the interior. So he didn't even look back. Like he opened and just held it a bit, and opened the second one and held it a bit. Now usually what I expect, and I will even do this for female friends normally. When you're opening the door for someone, you should open and let them pass. Okay? Don't open and just put your hand like this. So that if you leave your hand, you don't even know the person is right there till now hits their face. So you open the door like a gentleman or a gentle lady, you let them pass. And then you open the next one, you let them pass. And then you help them draw out their chairs to sit down if you're going out on a date. So that one I didn't like. I was like, I don't like this. So that was -1 point. So and then when we sat down, I had asked, "Do you want any appetizer?" He said, "No, he just do main meal." I was like, "Okay." I ordered an appetizer either way, and in my mind, I just thought if he likes it, I'll be happy to share with him. So the appetizer came with spring rolls. The thing is, like I said, I don't have any problem sharing. But the thing is, before I could even touch it, I hadn't touched this spring roll. He just said, can I get one of your spring rolls? And I was like, okay, sure. And so I thought that was somehow like, who takes somebody's appetizer before the person eats their own appetizer? So that was number two that I did not like. Number three that I did not like about this date was that he was quite sloppy. Oh, before I even get to him being sloppy, when the main meal came, his meal came first. I don't know if it's because my appetizer was still by my side, but his meal came first. He didn't wait for my food to come before he started eating. I find that weird because I would wait. I would wait for anybody's food, boy, girl, male, female, to come first, unless it's really taking long. And if it's taking long, then I'll ask you, do you want to eat some of my food before I start eating? So I wouldn't just start eating my food. So I thought that was, I didn't like that. And then the next part, he was sloppy. And I mean, he had water running here. He had peanut sauce on his fingers. He didn't even know. And me, I consider myself clumsy sometimes. So I'm not trying to be Miss Perfect here. But I feel like you should be at least have some self-awareness. I even had to tell him, I was like, oh, there's sauce on your hand. And he's like, oh, and he licked it. And then he was chewing really noisily and just, I was just trying hard to look at my food and not pay attention. So I thought, that wasn't good. But yeah, so those are the main things that I did not like about the date. So I feel that there's some things to learn, especially the whole holding of door and the eating before your partner. I don't think is good habits. So I hope this video helps somebody out there today, so that if you take somebody out on a date, you know what to do. Okay, and so if I were to rate this date over 5, I would, because he wasn't a bad person, I don't think he was mean or anything like that. I'll give him a 3 out of 5 for this date. Like I said, he seemed like he was a kind or generous person, but it's just some habits, some manners were not in place. Even in the conversation, some manners were not in place, but I won't go deep down. And so yeah, that's it. If you want to know or hear more of these, let me know. I'll be putting them up on my YouTube. But for now, I'll launch this on Instagram so that you guys can tell me if you like to hear more of my dating experience. Until next time, it's your girl Vivi in the building. Okay, bye.